In our Q&A/feature series Tell Me Más, we ask some of our favorite Latine artists to answer the questions only their BFFs know about them, revealing everything from their most recent read to the songs that get them hyped. This month, indie rap wondercon Gyanma drops in and gives us his take on the current state of Puerto Rico's music scene. In Puerto Rico, reggaeton is king. And while that fact has given multiple generations plenty of opportunities in anthems pop perrear, it's also meant that alternative sounds, or even music that was reggaeton-adjacent, didn't get much love outside of the underground. But today, even amidst a new trap wave and a resurgence of the old-school reggaeton sound, a new guard of up-and-coming MCs is shifting the paradigm on the island. They are fusing genres and making music that breaks from the established formula. Case in point, Gyanma, a tongue-in-cheek lyricist from Bayamón using his witty bars and R&B-soul style on a genre more closely associated with the streets. Reggaeton specifically, that world is very much from the streets. The 29-year-old MC tells Pop Sugar in a mix of English and Spanish, both of which he is fluent in. And a lot of times it's like you have to be approved by the streets to make use of the international trampoline that Puerto Rico can be. But if you're not, you're what they call here, Los Loquitos. Haciendo la música de los loquitos, or making crazy people music, is a saying thrown around by purists in Puerto Rico to disparage genres and subgenres that fall outside of what has become a pretty stringent formula for making hit records over the past decade. But as artists like Rhineo, Tommy Blanco, and Pink Pablo continue to build followings and headline shows in historic neighborhoods like La Perla and Santurce, barrios where reggaeton legends like DJ Negro, Arcángel, De La Ghetto, and more cut their teeth, it is becoming clear that Los Loquitos are making an impact. It's trippy because now, the music of Los Loquitos is what a lot of mainstream artists are trying to emulate, Gyanma says. So, it just shows you that sometimes you have to prove yourself in other ways and do the most to get the respect. For the artist, whose real name Gan Enriquez Rodriguez, proving himself meant leaving the island and starting from the ground up at Berklee College of Music in Boston. Before going to Berklee, I wasn't formally trained in music. I was very intuitive and could play by ear, but I was more of a songwriter. My voice was my instrument, he shares. Gyanma grew up in a musical household. His father is also a musician, so by the age of 12, the young MC was writing songs and learning to play the guitar, violin, and piano. But his time at Berklee would see him expand his knowledge of music fundamentals. It would also be the place that cemented his love for hip-hop. Prior to his time there, Gyanma describes his musical trajectory as being more of a singer-songwriter. It was at Berklee that he discovered his penchant for writing raps. I really got into like Kendrick, Frank Ocean, more hip-hop and R&B. And that kind of started shaping my sound, he says. It's a sound that the artist says has come a long way. After graduating from Berklee before the latest Latin boom and the success of the SoundCloud generation, Gyanma originally wrote his rhymes in English. But eventually, he realized that his wordplay in Spanish was stronger and had to ask himself why he was continuing to dribble with his left hand, as he puts it. After 6 years in Boston, Gyanma headed back home, determined to share his music with his people and build an organic following in Puerto Rico. And so far, he's been successful at doing just that, lacing smooth vocals and poetic lyrics over handcrafted beats that incorporate everything from funk to disco to jazz to create the kind of seductive vibe that is making music heads take notice. His latest project is an EP with longtime collaborator and equally talented co-MC Inulce, Duo Delete. Over the course of 8 tracks, the two high school friends craft an album that sounds like star-soaked nights and palm tree-lined boulevards, capturing the essence of island life while pushing the soundscape associated with it. Something Gyanma feels is necessary for a thriving, healthy music scene. It's no hate, but I feel like the market here feels really saturated because a lot of people are doing the same thing, the rapper says. A lot of it sounds like the same type of beats, the same type of energy, you know. That's why, along with developing his own career, he also helps aspiring local artists develop theirs. The brainchild of another close friend, Raul Santos, alas, Annie La Adversidad, Sigu, has grown from an event planning partnership between the two into a hybrid record label, recording studio, and talent incubator.